I saw the new Dune movie and I fell in love, specifically with Lady Jessica's black dress. And when I was watching the movie, my immediate thought was, I have to have one. Hello, it's Icy, back with another sewing video where I make something I saw on TV because I wanted it. Technically, on the big screen. Yes, I have been a fan of the Dune books forever. I am also a fan of the original David Lynch movie, which doesn't hold up so well anymore, but I'm now a massive fan of the new Denis Villeneuve Dune Part 1, let's say, Chapter 1. Anyway, it's fantastic. If you can go and see it in the cinema, you should, because the soundscape is so phenomenally amazing, just astonishing. But as I was sitting there and watching the movie, which I luckily got to see actually in the cinema, though not at the IMAX, because that right now doesn't exist in Sydney. There's no IMAX here, so I couldn't see it there. Anyway, I saw Lady Jessica's dress. So no spoilers, but she is waiting for Paul to be tested by the senior Bene Gesserit in the Gonjabar test. I'll just leave it at that. And she is waiting outside wearing a black full-length dress with a train and a hood. And the hood appears to be built into the dress. I have some screenshots, which I will show you. Surprisingly, these are really hard to find. There is basically no pictures about this black dress on the internet. And I don't understand why, considering that the movie actually came out like 2-3 months after the rest of the world in Australia. Why is the internet not covered in pictures of this amazing dress? Now there is a red version that she's also wearing in one scene, which is apparently in a bunch of scenes also that got cut. There is also a cheap reproduction of the red version of the dress, but it doesn't look anywhere near as nice, which you can spot online. If you go searching for like Lady Jessica Dune costume or something, you'll end up with a red version, which is amusing because she basically doesn't wear it in the movie. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want a red one, I wanted the black dress. So my crafty brain immediately went to thinking about how I could achieve that dress. And it's still thinking about it, honestly. And we are now a month later. I think it's a month later, and I'm still tossing up ideas about how to do this. I think I've got some options. I've done a wee bit of prototyping with literally just putting a scarf around my head and tucking it into a dress and just kind of seeing how it goes. So I think that's an option. So it comes down to, do I want to build the hood into an actual dress? Which means I'm probably not necessarily going to wear the dress super often. Or I can build the hood into like a tunic that I can wear over another dress, which means I've got the dress I can just wear normally and a tunic which I can add in as required when I want to pull off this look. The other part of this is the hood's fine. I'm probably going to wear the hood. I'm down for wearing hoods in everyday life. Not a problem. The train is something else though. Having a train on a dress is not real practical for everyday wear. So I'm tossing up if I make it as a tunic then I can put the train on as well, because that way I can just kind of, you know, add that to an existing dress or not. If I decide I don't want to do the train, then I come back to, do I just stick the hood on an existing dress, or what do we do? So, I'm still not 100%. I might just actually start making some stuff and then see how it goes, and then let that decide what happens. So, the dress. Now, the dress is a floor length, arm, like wrist length, collared, like turtleneck dress. The hood is built into it. It's kind of like a double layer at the top, where there's like a cowl and the hood at the back. So, my original thought is I will make the dress with the turtleneck, and then we'll see what happens after that. Now, I do actually have a pattern for an absolutely marvelous dress with a turtleneck neck in stretch. This dress is fantastic. I have owned this pattern for, 20 years, 15 years, like a long time. I've actually made this dress multiple times. I've also just made the skirt section as a skirt. It's fantastic. In fact, the red dress in the previous Matrix video, that's actually this pattern just turned into like a sleeveless kind of just standard collar rather than a turtleneck. Now, I do actually have a version of this dress right here that I made. I mean, it was in this, oh, actually that's not it. It's here somewhere. I made this dress in this house. So that puts it somewhere between, so it's probably about, or did I? No, oh, no, actually I probably made it in the previous house. So that probably makes that dress about 15 years old. Unfortunately, one time when it went through the washing machine, it got caught, and now there is a hole in the skirt, which is really annoying. So at some time in the last 10 years, that hole happened, and I went, well, I need to make myself another of these dresses, because it was my absolute favorite dress, because it's so flattering, it sits beautifully, it swirls wonderfully. I mean, look at this thing, look at that. It is a banging dress. For reference, this is style number 2. Sorry, let me do that so you can see it. 2480, in case you are after this particular pattern. It is gorgeous. So anyway, I decided to make a new one. And just recently, when I've been cleaning up all of my stash and my stuff to restart sewing projects again, I actually found the half-completed skirt section. So this is the actual skirt. It's already sewn. It's done. In fact, I'm pretty sure the red dress was cut out at the same time, and for some reason I've just finished the red one, and probably we had visitors come or something, and then the black one has just been put away in the cupboard and then never gotten out again, and I've literally forgotten about it. So that's the skirt for that particular dress. So it won't take me long to finish. This is all the top section. So, but it looks like also I had an idea that I wanted to make some boleros as well, like little kind of cropped vest things. So this is in the same red that the other dress is. So the idea is it's like, I don't know. It's not sewn together actually. Like this is like a little, oh, the red is not this bright, I gotta add, it's not coming out great. So just like a little kind of basically sleeves that you can add in. I've got the sleeves cut out, and I cut those out at 3/4 length. So I have 3 pairs of sleeves cut out. I have a pair of long, full length black sleeves, and 2 pairs of 3/4 length, one black and one red. So they're already marked out. I've already done the gathers around the top of the shoulder so I can set them in. So basically I am going to finish those. And then I also have the neck piece already cut out as well, and unfortunately I have torn the pattern, so I need to stick that. So that's just the neck for the top. The shirt, the top is here somewhere. This one? Yeah. And so this is the top, already sewn, already marked. So basically all I need to do literally is just put the neck on, put the sleeves on, sew it to the thing. We're done. This material doesn't even need hemming, technically. It's a stretch. It's relatively dark. It doesn't fray. It's a very plasticky sort of stretch. So it's not like a cotton. So it is a little warm, which makes it a good winter dress as opposed to a summer one. Now the other thing I have here, which I don't know what I was doing, but I think I have a layout here for a different kind of top on it. So now I come down to, do I just literally finish the dress as previously as per the previous version, or do I take this one, which is even pinned together? And I think the idea with this one is I was going to make it like a V, probably putting like a tall collar so I have like an overlap. This won't look like Lady Jessica's dress if I do that. Her dress is very clearly has a turtleneck style. But as this is not the style of dress that she was wearing, hers is very much straight. It has a small gather on the hip. It's not gored. It's basically just like kind of a very long A-line at the front with a train at the back. Does that matter? So I'm really not sure what I'm doing, basically. So this is just me talking at the camera to get all the ideas out of my head and somewhere where they can percolate properly, because I tell you what, my brain keeps going through these ideas at nighttime when I should be sleeping, and it is really annoying. And the final option is I just make 2 entire black dresses, one with a turtleneck, one with a kind of like an overlap V, like a high overlap to V, because I do actually have material. I bought this a while ago. Actually, pretty much after I saw the movie, I went and said, oh, I wonder if they still sell that material. And sure enough, this is exactly the same material. And it wasn't particularly expensive either. I think it was about $10 a meter, which is about half reasonable, basically. So I got like 4 meters. So that's enough to make another complete entire dress. It's not enough to make another complete entire dress and a tunic if I decide to go with that. So I'm really confused and annoyed, and I don't know. Yeah, so do I use the existing dress, the one that's got the hole in it? Because if I make a tunic, it doesn't matter because you won't see the hole. And then I could just make it with a scooped neck with the hood belt in. So yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. I could use the old dress with the hole in the front, because if I put a tunic over top, who can tell? Nobody. It's fine. You won't see that at all. So it comes down to, do I want this to look as accurate as possible, or do I want to end up with a dress with a hood that I can wear out? I think it really comes down to that choice. So, yeah, no, I don't know. This project has all of the hallmarks of getting wildly out of control, to be honest. It really does. I have a bad feeling about this. So I need to get it going now, because nominally I want this to go up in February. It is the 26th of January as I record this. I don't know. Anyway, let's see how this whole thing goes, and wish me luck. Okay, this is the first dress. So, as you can see, I've gone with the one that had the V-neck, like the overlap. And you can see I've got it pinned, it's on inside out right now for testing. So you can see it's got the V-neck. Do you know what? This is such a good dress. I'm not gonna do anything else to this dress. This dress is gonna stay exactly how it looks right now. I am so pleased. It's going to be sleeveless. I might just do, I'll just make like a thin strip to catch the whole thing, just to tidy up the raw sleeves here. I'll hem, actually I don't even have to hem the bottom, but I will hem the bottom. And this one's going to be done, which is great because it means the rest of the actual costume becomes a lot easier, because what that means is I'll use the dead dress that's got the hole in the skirt about there, and I'll make a tunic with a hood to go over top, and that should look fine. So, but this one's gonna stay exactly how it is now because it is a damn good dress. Anyway, I'm going to finish this one off and then move on to the next bit. I'm back with an update. My dress, well, the first dress is done. It pretty much looks as it looked on the test video where I just pinned the skirt to the waist. The hem gave me issues, but I did actually hem it and the hem is done. I love that dress. Oh my god, I love that dress so much. However, I'm pretty sure it is 100% not relevant at all to this Dune project. Not at all. I mean, it was helpful to make and to sew because it got it out of my system and made me realize that it's not the foundation for the Dune costume, the Dune dress. Really, I should just pull out all of the sewing bits for that and make an entirely separate video of just making that dress. If you never see this little bit of talking, that's what I did. Anyway, the Dune dress. Okay, so I've done some, I guess you'd almost say prototyping with some existing clothing that I owned. So I have this scarf. It's not the right material because it's like see-through. However, it's about, I think it's about 1/2 meter wide. Basically, it's almost right. It seems to be the right length, or the right width anyway. So if I pull it, so the inner edge is just touching at the back of my neck there, and then sitting on the top, which means that the inner edge here can sit just inside my shoulder, and then when it's over the top, it makes a triangle shape, which in the pictures of Lady Jessica with the hood up, that's the effect that's created. So I think what I'm going to do is actually literally measure from the top of my head to the outside of the shoulder and then back in, basically into the shoulder length of the dress. Because the other thing that happens is when she has the hood down, it sits really neatly as a gather across the top of the shoulder. So I think that's the plan. And then the front, I'll basically have it so it's attached to the kind of the neckline of the dress, I guess. And then the front will just continue down to be attached to the neckline. And then I think it's just like literally gonna be, I don't know if I need the rest of the volume of the material as well, because there'll be 1/2 meter here, but it will be sort of sitting. So the other option is, rather than having it as a rectangle, I like chop it off at an angle. So it's the distance from the material to the top is longer at the back than it is at the front. Not quite sure how we're going to do that yet, or how I'm going to test that, but I think that's going to work. So if nothing else, I have a starting point of basically dimensions of here to sort of here to here is the full length of the material, and the width of the material is going to be from the top of the head out to the tip of the shoulder and then back in to kind of the dress collar line. Probably would have been helpful to wear a dress that had the right collar. So I do actually have a dress that I think has the right kind of scooped collar line that I can work with. So I've got this one. It might be sitting a little high at the back actually, now that I look at it, but the front scoop is correct, and this dimension here from the tip of the shoulder into the top is correct. So I'm kind of going to use this dress as a bit of a prototype. So I'm going to lie it, so basically I'm going to cut the piece of material that I need to make the hood, and then I'm going to pin it to the inside of this dress, and then I'm going to see how it goes. I'm not going to bodge. This dress is it's a little small, it's quite tight, but it's also very, very straight. So it's not going to work for the actual dress at all. So I'm not going to just convert this one, but I can use it, yeah, for prototyping basically. So I will do that, and I think that should give me a decent idea. Now, what am I using for the hood? So I've got two things here. I found this piece of material. It's a double, like a two-way stretch jersey. So it stretches in this direction and it also stretches in this direction. As you can see, I've already used most of it, but I do have enough left, I think, that I can just get a dress out of it. If it's not too flowy, I think it's fine. It's also cut on a diagonal. So if I like literally fold it in half I pretty much did some testing where I folded it in half and then tied it around my body, and it kind of almost worked. The disadvantage is it doesn't leave me enough material in this fabric to make the hood. So I had a little look through my stash of things. Hang on. Right. There's a dark carpet on the floor and it's not very bright in here. So if I drop anything, it's lost. Okay. I have an old dress. It is a bit too big in the other way. It's got these weird little kind of tiny sleeves. I only really ever wear this dress if it's like 40 degrees and then I cannot be seen by anybody. It's like a strictly house dress. Like also strictly if somebody comes to the door, I have to go and put something else on kind of house dress. It does have this super cool kind of, I can't remember what this is called, where bits of fabric are like pinched together in like diagonals to create this kind of really interesting effect at the top of it. So it's got a reasonable amount of material, but when I was looking, I also noticed somewhere in here, there's actually a hole in the dress as well, like just there. So I'm gonna sacrifice this dress. It is also stretch in both directions. It's a very similar, it's maybe a teeny bit lighter than the other material, but this is also being washed like a bunch of times and the other one hasn't. So that may be the only difference. However, if I just grab this thing like this, it has a really great like hand. It sits really well. The advantage with this one is a little bit of texture, so it's actually going to grip on my hair and not fall off. So I think I'm going to go with chopping this dress up. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use one half of it. I think it's long enough as well from hem to hem. I think I have enough length to achieve it, so I can actually create like the whole hood without like seams on the shoulders or anything like that. So it should sit really smoothly, I hope. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chunk out. It's actually a high-low hem as well. So I think I'll use the front with the higher hem for the hood, and then the back, which I have actually a fairly decent chunk of material. I think I'm going to cut like a V section out and then gore that in to the back of the skirt section to make the train like slightly more significant. When I basically wrapped the whole thing around me and overlapped it and stuff, there's enough material that it's actually pulling on the floor behind me, but it's sort of being a bit weird and wispy. It's a little odd. So I think it needs a little extra volume. So that's the current plan. And I think that should work quite well. I will keep, for some other project, I'm going to keep this section. It's quite medieval in an interesting way. So I don't know, for example, if I could, I don't know, turn this into like some puffed sleeves or like a medieval style like headpiece or something. Anyway, that's a different story. So I will keep, yeah, I am definitely going to keep this little section to do something with, I don't know. So the project proceeds apace. Yeah, the next step is, I think, the next real step is to chop this up, get some hood designs, pin the hoods into existing dresses or t-shirts even that have got the right neckline, get that sorted, because once I know the neckline, then I can cut the dress. I don't want to cut the dress until I actually know like what I'm doing here. And I also need to think about how to finish like the neckline and because it'll be sleeveless, and I'll wear it over top of like a turtleneck shirt to get the final effect. To think about how I finish like the sleeves and the neckline and things on the other dress. Do I want to go fancy? Do I need to make like lining or interfacing or any of that kind of stuff? So I need to have a little think about that as well. So anyway, this is very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how the next step goes. So we're going to do some experiments with the hood. I'm done. It took a while, not through any difficulty of the actual sewing. Well, actually, I think the most difficult thing was actually to work out the hood pattern, which is why I then actually made a pattern from it, because I knew that one day it is extraordinarily likely that I will want another hood on a dress just like this, because this looks so good. Did my Dune Lady Jessica dress turn out well? Yes, I'm so happy. I'm really pleased. So what's going on is I'm wearing a puffed sleeve. That's all I had. Puffed sleeved, collared like t-shirt, like long sleeve shirt underneath. Then I actually, just for the volume and as a petticoat, I actually have another like ankle length dress on underneath, just like it's just t-shirt material, but it just adds a bit of volume, which I think is required with such thin material. Then I've got the double stretch t-shirt material jersey dress on top with the additional train cut into the back, which was definitely necessary, and I'm so pleased that worked out. The only thing I've done, which I'm actually regretting, is I added kind of extra sleeve sections on here, rather than just leaving the armholes raw. I couldn't have left them raw, but what's ended up is that they're ever so slightly too tight. It might be fine without a shirt on underneath, but I might need to, I didn't actually try it on. I like finished the sleeves and then went, oh, it's done, I'm gonna do a video, and actually try it on first to check it was all good. So that's fine. Anyway, the hood worked pretty well. Most of the additional fabric is actually gathered on the top of the shoulders, which, if it sits right, gives that kind of triangular look that you see in the actual movie stills. When it sits off the shoulders, it actually does the gather on the top of the sleeves that you see in the movie stills as well, which is it just sits there. I'm just like, oh, it's working perfectly. The only thing I think I could do in order to keep that triangular look a little stronger is I could, for example, just sew like the top, like this. Basically, I could sew the inside of the hood just across the top of the shoulder, and then when it was sitting, bumped the table, it would be forced to create this shape. Now, I haven't done that, and the reason I haven't done that is I'm planning some more projects based around this dress. So do keep an eye out on this channel for future projects using this dress. I found, if you follow me on Twitch, you'll have seen me talking about this for a while. I found some armor patterns, but they're made out of fabric. So it's like fabric pauldrons, sort of made out of stiffened fabric, and they look amazing. So I think my next general plan is to put together a series of armor pieces so that I can just assemble a suit of armor, and then this dress will kind of be the foundation on which sort of the armor goes. Will it be practical? No. Will it look cool? I really hope so. So I would call this project a success. Unqualified success? Almost. Would I have done anything differently? Look, it's a rewarding challenge to put together something like this out of just the bits and pieces of material you have around. The one thing I would say is where the train hits, it would have been better if it actually hit at the small of my back. So it's about 10 centimeters lower than the small of my back. If it had hit at the small of my back, I think I could, and I'll have to work around this, I suspect, because walking with a train's very difficult. So I will need to rig some way that I can hoik the skirt up. And if it was hitting at the small of my back, that would be a lot easier. So I'm gonna have to have a little think. Now that I've done the pictures, done the video of this dress how it is, I can modify it if I want, which I might do. I'll probably add some extra structure. I might add some more decorative elements that wouldn't have worked for a Lady Jessica dress. But I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. It's worked wonderfully. And to be honest, I've got the dress I actually used to make the pattern for this is a weird dress. It actually, even though it's just a simple like sleeveless black t-shirt material dress that's just straight up and down, it oddly doesn't suit me. So there's something about the neck cut, the neckline on it, that is not flattering. And when I pinned this hood into that dress as a test, it was like, oh no, this looks great. So if nothing else, I think I'm just going to make another hood and then sew it into that dress as a permanent feature, because it really did look so much better. Even just like this, not actually up as a hood, just kind of off the shoulders, cowl neck thing going on. It looked so much better. So that's my Lady Jessica dress. I am honestly absolutely delighted how it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there anything else I could do? Do you have suggestions for armor pieces that I can put together, or links to images that you've seen that you think would be good inspiration? I am definitely here for that. Thank you very much for watching. Please do throw me a follow here on YouTube if you haven't. This is a bit of a mixed channel where there are different sorts of things going on. However, all of the sewing type videos will be in the one playlist. All of the gaming type videos are in other playlists. So yeah, do throw me a follow. Follow me also on Twitter and Instagram, where I will have photos and things of progress reports, all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you next time. Bye.